In the next few minutes, I want to show you how we consistently help med spas get more qualified patients while also saving their staff time. Now, if you're like most med spa owners, you probably feel frustrated with the same few things, which is getting no-shows, relying too heavily on word of mouth, and overall keeping your calendar full. And that's exactly why we've built the RiceCom system, to solve these problems and generate predictable growth. Let's dive in. I'll show you exactly what we do, how we get you more patients, and fix these problems. So from our experience, almost every med spa runs into the same challenges over and over again. And one of the biggest challenges med spas face is simply attracting new clients consistently. Every owner I talk to say the same thing. Some weeks the phone is ringing and appointments are coming in, but then it dries up and it's unpredictable. There's demand out there, but getting steady, reliable flow of new clients can be almost guesswork. And then which brings me to my next point is relying too heavily on word of mouth. They're great when they happen, when a friend refers a friend, but they're very risky to depend on that alone. Because, some months you could get waves of new clients, and then other months it could be completely crickets. Another one is many people book but they don't show up. Now, this is very frustrating because you block off your time, maybe even prep your staff, but then the patient doesn't show up. And not only is that frustrating, but it's also a direct hit on your bottom line because you've had this empty spot, you filled it with someone, and then they didn't show up. That could have been filled with someone else who was ready to pay. High competition in local markets. Med spas are opening everywhere. It's a growing industry, and in most local markets, you're up against several other spas that are offering kind of the same services around the same price, and it makes it a lot harder to stand out because patients have options, and when they're scrolling online or asking friends for recommendations on where to go, the difference between choosing you and your competitor comes down to the visibility of your med spa, how quick you respond to them, so your speed to the lead rate. And it's easy for a potential client to go with someone else if you're overlooked and you're kind of blending into every other med spa. So all these challenges kind of tie into this last one, which is your staff being overwhelmed with calls and appointment bookings, because in most med spas, the front desk is balancing way too much at once between answering calls, checking in patients, booking appointments, handling all the walk-ins. It's a lot, and they're bound to make mistakes. And then when they do make mistakes, whether that's not, reminding someone of their appointment, you're losing out on potential revenue. And a lot of med spa owners don't realize how much money they're losing out on just off of these simple mistakes compounding over time. Now, you may be dealing with all these issues or just a few, but they're consistent issues we see across the industry. So what we did was design our system around these pain points. And the idea is simple. Not only does it fix the issues, but it also saves your staff a lot of wasted time, and it also brings in a lot of patients, which is super cool. So let me show you exactly how our system works, how we're able to fix these issues, and how we're able to bring you in more patients. So this right here is the RiceCom AI system. It's a completely done-for-you service, and it involves 3 pillars. Now, the first one being lead generation. So when you say, Matt, looks great, let's work together, you're going to fill out an onboarding form. And then from that, we're going to create image and video ads using AI. And then once we do that, we're going to send you the ads for your approval because we want to make sure everything's okay with you. Maybe you want updates or tweaks or whatever that may be. You say the ads are good, then we're going to launch the ad campaign and you're going to see all the leads come in. Now, once we have leads, obviously we want them as appointments. So what we're going to do is we're going to build out an AI caller appointment setter. Once we build that, it's going to call up every single new lead that comes in, and it's going to set them in as appointments into your calendar. Now, it's not just going to call them and say, hey, do you want to book an appointment? They say yes, they're in your calendar. It's not really efficient. You want to pre-screen them, qualify them, and it does all that. It's going to qualify them, it's going to book them as an appointment, and it's also going to call them and remind the lead to show up for their appointments, so you reduce a lot of those no-shows. And then lastly, we set up an AI missed calls receptionist. Now, this is something a lot of agencies aren't doing, which is super cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to build out an AI receptionist tailored to your med spa, answering FAQs, appointment bookings. And we're going to implement it within your system. Maybe you want to set up a new number or add it to yours, completely up to you. And what it's going to do is it's going to answer any missed call that you receive from your business. So maybe you get a call at 4 in the morning, 7 at night on the weekend, just any inconvenient time that you maybe can't answer the phone. It's going to be able to pick up and it's going to answer any questions they have and book them as an appointment while also qualifying them kind of the same as the appointment setter.